What's going on, YouTube? It's Insane place to be chilling with homie Mr. A and D and the not damn here. I gotta go back because I think it's a TV experience. Not Dion says for prime time.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the PRIME.
Yo, we are back live, but not really because Money in the Bank went later than we expected it to go. At least for me, it went later than we expected to go, so we couldn't get the live stuff. And we're not the big YouTubers where that is our job. We got other jobs that we got to go do in the morning and stuff like that. So I make sure that we do this and premiere for you guys. So we're here to review Money in the Bank that took place in what was it? Fort Knox, Texas.
Yeah, weird place to have money. One of your big four, big five, but
Yeah.
all right.
So I was like, oh, okay, sure. So this would have there's a lot of speculation going on into this night of what's going to be happening. Obviously, we didn't have the Bianca and Bailey I Quit matchup, which I think would have probably made if we had put that match on here, it probably saying, hey, this show could have been like non-touchable. But uh I thought overall it was a really good show. I'm not even talking about the pre-show. I will get into all that shit, but I thought match quality wise and what they delivered. The only downfall that I did not like was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Uh, it
Okay.
just it wasn't hard. I see worse matchups, obviously, but this one I was just like, okay, I ain't really like too much of anything that was going on in that match. But everything else I thought was solid. So before we get into it, what's your overall thoughts of Money in the Bank this year?
I gotta say, I'm the complete opposite of you, man. I don't know.
What?
I just yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like even during the Money in the Bank men's match, I see the stuff happening and I see the craziness, and I'm just like, there's no reaction from me. And I'm like, I know this is supposed to be good, but it's just not hit me like I wanted to hit me, and I just wasn't into it.
Well, first of all, I can tell you a real reason why we weren't into it, but we'll get on to that. Because first off,
That
Peacock's a
wasn't it wasn't even that.
it wasn't even
I
a
was trying
Peacock
to
for
get
you.
back into it after that.
Okay. Well, that's why we here. We get to talk about it. So first of all, I will start off with the pre-show and a slight rant. We had the Usos taking on the Mysterios for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So go ahead.
What was the Mysterio's entrance?
They got the job interest, didn't they?
No, it was like a
I didn't
it
see.
was like
I
a
didn't see the pre-show. I just seen the highlights of the pre-show.
okay. So they was like in some black suits, like getting ready, putting their watches on, getting their tie tied, and then they looked, and it was like a force field, not a force, like a portal. They looked at each other, high fived each other, then walked in the portal. And then
Money in the Bank? You say that for SummerSlam? You doing Money in the Bank?
when the portal was on the screen, and then they like jumped out the portal. All right, on the pre-show. So
Wow, I gotta see how that. I gotta go back and see how that looks, honestly, because sounds intriguing, but I wouldn't do that with Money in the Bank. But once again, it's like their Big Four show.
yeah,
So, huh?
especially on the kickoff at that.
Yeah, and they go up against the Usos, and surprisingly, Jay Uso. Well, actually, Jay was about to get 619. Jimmy Uso comes and saves and gets kicked for Jay Uso, and then Jay Uso distracts Rey Mysterio, and Jimmy hits the roll up, and then Jay puts his feet on Jimmy to hold the leverage. And the Usos are 7-time tag team champions. Now, we got it out the way. You text me, I was like, so honestly, people, I understand when it's your favorites or when you want to support somebody that you shouldn't even be in here and you should not even be like, hey, say, well, it's my favorite, so you gotta let shit pass. This shit can't pass, okay? Because Vince McMahon and WWE has been, at least on the surface, rewarding Jimmy Uso. Because see, I don't care what they said to Jimmy Uso backstage. That holds no precedent because all we see is him getting rewarded for getting 5 DUIs already. And he comes back. He's not taking on TV. He hasn't lost. He hasn't really lost like that. It ain't like Triple H was out there with the click. He got buried for a year. No, he didn't even lose. He goes out there, he wins these championships all because he's in a Roman Reigns storyline. Because honestly, and just because they do little Easter eggs like Roman did with the promo when he won the titles, and he was just like, he just looking at him like, ooh, that ain't enough. If they think that's embarrassing him, it's not enough. I mean, yes, Roman probably lighting his ass up behind the scenes. Yes, Naomi probably lighting his ass up behind the scenes. And probably so is Jey Uso, but this does not do anything because all this is going to do for him is that since I'm working with Roman, since I'm working with the top dog, I could go out here and just endanger anybody's life or mess up my brother's career or my wife's career because of the bullshit, because I'm not going to be held accountable for anything. And then you may have other wrestlers that, because this is an easy way to show that they play favoritism. Because if something like this happens to another wrestler, say, I don't know, let's pick somebody up out of obscurity. That this guy to Ivar. Okay.
Cesaro.
Say what? You said Cesaro?
Cesaro.
Yeah, this guy was Cesaro, and they fire Cesaro. Cesaro can actually make a plea and probably go to court and say, look, they play favoritism. Because it doesn't matter what the storyline is or what you're in there for. If the co-worker, they're not co-workers, they're independent. So it goes both ways. It's like, well, you know what? If this guy's messing up and he can go out there and do this stuff, so why can't I? So you bring even more heat on yourself when you do that. So look, I don't care about the storyline, to be honest with you. And I'm just like, it's not like it's like, okay, Alpha Academy is probably going to win the tag team titles at SummerSlam anyway, but still, I felt as though that this doesn't do much because what does it do? They have the tag team titles, and then I'm just gonna go back and being regular Usos. Your take on it?
I just don't think they should have won. I don't even think they should have been in the title match to begin with. I think Jimmy should just be getting destroyed every week. But
yeah,
hey.
So yeah, it set a bad example, and once again, it ain't like these titles are going to help Roman going in the future because he's going to go against say spoilers, Cena, but you already knew that. So whatever the case should be. So we go to the main show, and we kicking off the main show with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Alexa Bliss taking on Naomi, taking on Asuka.
This is where the show went downhill for me.
Yeah, versus Selena Vega versus Liv Morgan versus Tamina and Natalya, because you put the women's tag team champions in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which I thought was stupid. There was rumors saying that, well, maybe Sonya Deville will attack somebody and come in the matchup, and that didn't happen. Maybe it will be Sasha Banks coming into the matchup so she can win and face Bianca Belair. That didn't happen. So we stuck with this. So when this match started and there was no interference or anything like that, I said, well, right now, I don't know who really is going to win. I went with Naomi because, Naomi can use something. And shit, they're going to make her husband be winning. Why can't she? So,
I mean, I went with Naomi because it will make sense. Like, even though she's not doing anything, she's still credible.
Yes.
So that's why Naomi was one of my picks.
So Natalya throughout the whole matchup is trying to be the MVP, playing all the good defense. Every woman trying to come to the line, she's the one pulling everybody down and beating them up before they get up there. Alexa Bliss is there's a ladder set up in the corner with Liv Morgan right there. She kind of crosses the ladder and scares Liv Morgan, but don't scare Natalya because Natalya has no problem tossing her off. And I'm saying this right now, unpopular opinion, I'm done with this Alexa Bliss dark character. I'm done with Fiend Alexa Bliss. There's no Fiend. So I'm done with Fiend Alexa Bliss. I'm done with the powers. I'm done with all the bullshit, especially when it's a live crowd and y'all try to make it like she's this unbeatable entity. Stop it. It's really annoying. And this whole superhero shit that Nikki Cross is doing, it's annoying. So, and speaking of which, when Selena Vega is climbing the ladder and then she gets brainwashed by Alexa Bliss to climb down the ladder, I was like, this is stupid. This is really stupid. Maybe that concept, it works in the Thunderdome. It don't work out here no more. Then all the women are going in there and they're brawling. Then Nikki Ash sets up a ladder on the outside.
Like I told you.
What?
Like I told you, this match went down. This is where the show went downhill from me.
Yeah, but I was but this match. I agree with you on the match, but we'll figure out in a minute. She goes up to the top of the ladder and she gets the pop, but then she gets no lift off this jump. It ain't like when Io Shirai up there and she just launches herself. She kind of fell off the ladder kind of flipped and her foot clipped the rope. You have to go back and see that her foot clipped the rope. And take all this woman, I was like, it was a bad botch. This is terrible. And they go out to the outside and they realize that Alexa's too powerful. So we got to bury her in all the ladders. The smallest woman in there, we got to bury her in all the ladders. So obviously, like Prime saying, we're probably setting up for type of spot where she's using her powers or something like that. The lights go out. She becomes Dark Alexa. Something like that happens if you're going to do all that. But no, nothing happens. She just stays in there, probably falls asleep. They set up all the ladders in the ring. All of them climb up it. And then Nikki Ash just casually climbs the ladder and wins the Money in the Bank briefcase.
That was so anticlimactic. And then the people, the other competitors just sitting there on the ladder like, oh. Naomi was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how she was just like, okay, nobody gets knocked down. The ladders don't get pushed down. There's no dark. There's no Alexa Bliss. There is no climactic thing. It was just like, I really casually climbed up while I was fighting. I grabbed the briefcase. And I'm just like, Nikki Ash. I probably would have felt better if it was Nikki Cross, but the superhero shit is not working for me. And you're sitting there thinking like, the people who are the champions now? What was you about to say?
Michael Cole, by the way, kept getting on my nerves on commentary because like, Pat McAfee be like, it's Nikki Ash or Nikki Ash, and then no. Pat McAfee be like, it's almost a superhero. Nikki, almost a superhero. Then Michael Cole, Ash, ASH. And then he'd be like, oh, Nikki almost a superhero with a dive. It's Nikki Ash. He just kept doing that. Like, Michael Cole, calm down, man.
You really need to calm down. I know Vince is in your ear, but you need to back the fuck up. So she wins the matchup. Some people they are popping. I don't know if they piped in the crowd noise for that or not, but there are people in the audience that was just like, that was just not good. So automatically, Money in the Bank from pre-show to now did not start off good for me.
It's an F.
So we go to the Raw Tag Team Championships. The Viking Raiders taking on AJ Styles and Omos.
Wait, by the way, before we move on, was the match here like this match is not good? Like I didn't even have a good spot. I didn't have a spot of the match or nothing.
Look, when most of the spots were botched, and they was too busy worried about Alexa Bliss's brainwashing powers, then yeah, all that shit sucked.
All right. Okay.
It's all sudden. There was no spots. I agree with you. Raw Tag Team Championships: the Viking Raiders versus AJ Styles and Omos. Good spot here where Omos gets tagged in and he just launches AJ Styles over the top rope, but he comes down to a Hurricane Rana on Eric. That was cool. AJ obviously takes the most of the heat in this matchup. Then Omos comes in there and they're chopping him down. Not up to that, to the outside. He doesn't embarrass himself, but I know Omos is very limited. Eric runs to him, and then he gets the double hand choke slam, and then they retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. It was a solid matchup, but it could have happened on Raw, but they only brought that match over because there was no Bianca and Bayley, so they had to fill in time. And I know Bianca Bayley.
They didn't have to. They did not have to fill in time. They definitely.
Yes.
They did not have to fill time.
You're absolutely right. Now we go into the WWE Championship. This is, to me, where it picked back up. Bobby Lashley taking on Kofi Kingston. And obviously, Bobby Lashley, like I said in my predictions, if you're going to talk about, we ending the Lashley ladies in the champagne, ain't time to get soft no more, then, yes, Bobby should destroy Kofi. And like we both called it, it was a glorified squash match. We run into a spine buster. Bobby is just tossing him. He's giving him the flatliners. And then he goes and gives Kofi not one, not two, but three of the original Ron Simmons dominators. Because I ain't talking about the one where he turn you over on your face and play. So I'm
But
talking about
you can say the 2007 Dominator.
yeah, that back when he was just sitting there and just slamming you straight down. And I like how the crowd was saying, "Do it one more time." He's like, "Yeah, all right, one more time," and then he hurts him down. Then he puts Kofi in the hurt lock, and that's it. And that's exactly how it should have been. Kofi should have been no threat to him by no means. Now I know they're building him up for Goldberg, but Goldberg ain't no threat to Bobby neither. And if y'all know, Goldberg's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's in my top 5, okay? But when it comes to, they better not take that championship off Lashley for fucking Goldberg. Because right now, I want to see the Almighty versus the Tribal Chief at Survivor Series.
Oh. Okay.
I think this Lashley, the Almighty versus the Tribal Chief, when they do like champion versus champion, that's the Survivor Series match I want. Bobby shouldn't be really losing the belt until they either bring back Keith Lee or until they really build up somebody that can really take his championship. If it was Brock and Brock want to say a little bit, I get it, but not Goldberg. Not Goldberg.
Especially not Goldberg if he got them shorts that he had when he fought Drew.
You know them shorts coming back, right? You know them shorts coming back, right? I'll just say, you know the shorts coming back. So, I don't actually, it was a glorified squash match, so I thought it was good. Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley taking on Charlotte. So, crowds anticipated. Charlotte flips off Texas. That was cool.
Yeah, they said they was chanting, "We want Becky." And I was like, yeah, like I don't want to see Charlotte versus Rhea again.
I agree. They will Becky, but I know Becky not gonna probably come out to Raw. You gotta still sell Raw. And then so Rhea tries to go for a dive off the apron. She misses, and Charlotte goes to the barricade, gives a drop kick. The We Want Becky chase is getting louder, but Rhea's she tried to do her best she can. I feel bad for Rhea sometimes. She pulls Charlotte up from like a guillotine to a deadlift suplex that when I was watching it, I was just like, damn, I don't want to say this, but Bianca would have got that easier. Because Rhea was struggling for a minute, but she got it on there. More action continues. Rhea gets out to the outside, and then Charlotte goes for her terrible moonsault. That moonsault was so terrible to the outside. She comes back in, but then Rhea gives her that reverse clover leaf, and she tries to go for a riptide to Charlotte, but Charlotte changes it to a DDT, close call. Then Charlotte goes to the top rope and gives her a top rope natural selection. Did not see that coming.
All right.
Come on, man. Stop.
We know the ending of the match. All right. We never seen her do that before. Why not just end the match with that move?
I agree. They had me. I thought that was over. I really thought it was over. So,
that's like Cena hitting the top rope attitude adjustment for the first time and somebody kicking out. It's like, well, all right.
She hit that and then she kicked that. So as you see, when she did kick out, the crowd was kind of underwhelmed by that. It was like, damn, that was a badass move. It's over. But she kicked out. They probably thought that it would give Rhea sympathy, but it really didn't. Rhea's like hanging outside the ropes, and Charlotte slams her head against the ring post, and her leg falls down between the steel steps. I thought she was going to do like the whole Bret Hart, Ric Flair figure four and thing, but the steps was there.
So I know what I used to say about disqualification and using weapons. Like you can slam somebody on the table and that's legal, but putting a foot inside of the thing and stomping it is the equivalent of putting somebody doing the Benoit. I mean, doing the Pillman.
Yeah.
Putting their leg in the chair and stomping on it. That's a disqualification. So I think this should be in that gray area of disqualification.
I do agree. Which, by the way, I think it may play a story, but I don't think WWE's that smart to do that. But
they're not that smart because they want to officially change the title from all that. So
right. So she stomps the leg out. She gives it a figure eight and she taps out. Because my confusion with that was when Rhea just pulled the lip of the table up and it hit Charlotte, it was a DQ. when they cut off the table and that part of the table hit Charlotte, that was a DQ. But Charlotte deliberately putting her leg in the steel steps and stomping on it is not a DQ. Y'all got to be more consistent with your rules. Like I said, unless they're doing it for like a storyline, the Rhea comes out talking about you should have got disqualified for using the steel steps yesterday. Because remember what I told you during the predictions, or what I told you the following podcast. Do not for 1 minute sleep on the fact that this could be a triple threat.
Yeah, but usually Charlotte's the one getting added.
Yeah, well, look, I'm telling you, don't be shocked if there's a Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch thing going on here. Because
I know Charlotte and Becky have good matches. I'm not saying that they don't. I just want something new. That's all I wanted. That's all.
Well, I mean, the way I guess they'll put something new is adding Rhea in there because despite the finish, it was a great match. It was a good match.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a good match. It started off slow for me that I actually fell asleep on it. And when I woke up, Charlotte had her in the pump handle, and Charlotte reversed it. So that's when I woke up.
Yeah, and that's when it was kicking in, and then like I said, the top if you're going to end the match, it should have ended on that top rope natural selection.
Yes, also Charlotte should never do Andrade's moves again.
No, she don't. I'm telling you, she don't. She has a certain kind of level of athleticism, and they ain't the one that she need to be having. So now, before we go into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, Peacock decided to say, "Fuck you" to the entire WWE universe.
Everybody was. I know everybody was mad before because of the ending, and Charlotte won her 13th or 14th championship.
Yeah, and that's how Peacock did it. And Peacock just said, and it started skipping. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh my god, maybe because downstairs my son and my sister was watching Harry Potter on Peacock on my account. And I was like, I got to tell him to get off so I can watch this Money in the Bank ladder match. Then you text me and said, hey, somebody Peacock going wrong. And I said, yeah, mine's is. So I was sitting there like, so I went on Twitter, and the wrestling guys that I watched, from Good Mike commentaries to Silent Monster Sounds Off, everybody was talking about what the hell Peacock with the stuff. And it was like literally 7,000 people on Twitter making the memes about what's going on.
That was the number one trending topic on the whole app of Twitter.
What, Money in the Bank of Peacock?
No, Peacock.
Peacock, yes. It had to be, because once I started looking it up.
I'm telling you, I was surprised because I seen, Ice Cube's son.
Yeah.
O'Shea. It was like, hey, what's wrong with Peacock? And then I see like Chris Tucker, Eddie Griffin, and all them comment. I thought it was just mine. I'm like, what y'all doing watching Peacock? What y'all doing watching Money in the Bank?
That's what I said. Y'all watching Money. Yo, Lily, they watching Money in the Bank. Iron Sheik was going off on Twitter. Mark Carey was going off on Twitter. Look, this happened to everybody. Yeah. So everybody that was watching Money in the Bank, because it's like this always happens with the WWE live events. It's like Peacock's not, because look, I watch Peacock daily because I always watch all my Chicago shows, and then I watch my sister watch Harry Potter. Everybody, there's no interruptions when you watch the movies or TV shows. But every time you try to watch something WWE, especially when it's live streaming type stuff.
This was my first time.
This is your first time?
This is my first time getting a Peacock interruption or whatever.
Because I tried to start on the PS5, it kicked me out 5 times. So I had to come to my laptop and watch it. And then that's when it started. I was like, what is going on? So, guys, it did this all the way through the whole ladder match, at least for me. And then somebody was on there, was like, you really got to shut this thing down and then reboot it. So, but here's the thing. I did that thing twice already, though.
For me, it happened from after Charlotte, when like Rick Boogs and Shinsuke, I'm assuming was Shinsuke over there, until like the last entrance of the match. Until the last entrance of the match.
Okay, so you got to see the full match.
Yes. So I was scared to refresh it because I was like, dang, if I refresh it, I might not be able to get back in. But then after a while, I said, okay, maybe it's time. And it was the last entrance. It was right before McIntyre's entrance, so I went back and came back in, and then I caught McIntyre's entrance, then it played regular.
Okay, yeah. It skipped right through. I tried to reset it, then it was still. Then when I reset the first time, it was still freezing, but I could still see it because the other time it was like it was going dark. But this I can
Yeah,
still
it
see
like it was going dark, like no sound, no nothing. Just
it. Exactly. I was like,
that's how the
oh.
people in Saudi Arabia felt that one show, just dark.
So as it was doing that, I was just like, all right. But now, so I can at least see it frame by frame. And then when Big E finally won, it cleared up, and I was just like, all right. So,
Oh, so you ain't see none of the match,
bro, it was. I took
oh,
down the notes of what I saw by frames. So,
okay.
so obviously you can help me out with this. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match: Ricochet.
Well, oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Ricochet versus Riddle versus John Morrison versus Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens versus Big E versus Kingston Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. So I'm going by what I've seen in the frames. I know that Seth Rollins and Morrison on the outside, and then also Ricochet comes flying over.
They became a team, actually, quote unquote, a little bit.
Yeah, they did have that because they started changing giant drip, and then Riddle bounced to the outside. They have a Big E Drew McIntyre standoff, which the crowd ate that up. And
I didn't get that.
Why not?
I didn't get that same feeling.
Cause look, they are really putting like they said Big E as a single star. We already know McIntyre is the.
I guess I'm just kind of tired of McIntyre, maybe, because when they faced off, everybody was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, I don't." Drew, it's probably Drew. It's got to be Drew. It's something with Drew because it's not Big E. It's Drew.
People were behind the Big E. So Morrison he gets knocked off the ladder. I think I want to say it's by Nakamura. He does a nice backflip, like when he's like pushing out. He does a backflip off of it. Then he sits the ladder before and does a twisting 360 over the ladder onto Nakamura, which I thought was cool. Nakamura at one point puts an armbar on Morrison at the top of the ladder. And then,
that scared me.
Yeah,
he's upside down.
But then Rollins comes. That's what scared me when Rollins came and kicked him. So I didn't know how he felt because it was freezing. So
but he felt normal. He felt good.
Okay, Morrison and then that's Morrison and Rollins teamed up, and then
So just a small little tidbit suggestion. In canon, Morrison has been on the main side, even though he left, he came back. He's been on the roster since 2005. He should be smart enough to not be the one to get turned on first. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
because in canon,
once again, like I said, it was freezing, so I didn't see the eventual breakup because right after they teamed up, my thing really went on the fritz. To the point that's when I had to give it a hard reset. So I missed whatever happened in between there, and the next thing
they just basically hit everybody with the ladder at the same time. Not Starship Pain, but just a flippy move and missed.
Okay.
And clipped his elbow on the ladder. And then of course Seth hit him, and Seth hit everybody else.
Because when I finally refreshed a little bit and the picture came back on, Drew was Claymore kicking everybody.
Yes, he was Claymore kicking everybody. Riddle was arguing with everybody, and I loved this angle. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like you just see Riddle's head, and then you just see a foot. You see a foot.
Yeah. I missed that one. Damn it! I gotta go back and watch this now because
because that's probably the best angle they've ever got. Because he was just like it was just a close in of his face, foot, boom, and then
that's great.
No Kevin Dunn 30 camera cuts or nothing. It was just that one cut.
So that's now when does Ricochet's big ladder spot when he does what he did? They push him off, but he bounces off the ropes and takes everybody else out on the outside. Is that before or after Jinder Mahal comes?
That's That's after Jinder comes.
Okay, because I remember Jinder
Yes,
Mahal comes.
that's after Jinder comes because when he comes through, nobody's in the area, and then as soon as they leave, everybody's piled up in the area all of a sudden. So yes, that's after Jinder.
Okay, well he comes. They beat down Drew McIntyre with a chair. Jinder Mahal's people. So they're going to get a SummerSlam match, Mahal and McIntyre, and it's probably going to be for the third time because they're going to do it on Raw tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's going to sell a lot of tickets.
Mahal and McIntyre at SummerSlam because sure, why not? After that, so Riddle's in the ring. Once again, I can see picture, but it's still freezing. All I see is Riddle hitting RKOs on everybody. Big and then
off the ladder.
Yeah, I think he hit Nakamura with one.
Yeah, Nakamura. I think Nakamura is the one he hit when Seth came in with the curb stomp.
Gotcha. Now, meanwhile, once again, I couldn't see, but I seen it. Somebody set up the ladder bridge from the apron to the announce table. So they're going to use that.
And Johnny did that.
Okay, yeah. So now Kevin Owens is back in the ring, and now Kevin Owens is going against his stunners on everybody, but then Seth Rollins picks up Kevin Owens with a powerbomb and powerbombs him over the ropes and powerbombs him through the ladder bridge.
We forgot a spot, by the way.
Which one was it?
Kevin had the ladder sideways up, and Seth Rollins and Johnny gave him a Falcon Arrow on the ladder, on the side.
Wow, that's the indie spot. I know that had to hurt. I know that. See, like damn Peacock. Peacock must have.
Yep. He hit it, and then I don't know if he hurt his leg for real or he was just selling good, but he was like limping the whole match.
It probably did press a vertebrae or something. Seth Rollins has climbed the ladder now, and everybody's thinking Seth Rollins is going to grab it. But Big E comes in there. Big E with the power takes Seth Rollins and gives him a big ending off the top of the ladder, or at least the middle.
I loved it, but I like the big ending is still not a move to do that off the ladder, like the backstabber.
Yeah,
it's like your opponent is landing on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way he does get it to the side, it's just like found his stomach right on the side. So I give him that. Then Big E gets up, he climbs the ladder, and Big E wins the 2021 Men's Money in the Bank. I think it's well deserved. I think it's better than Otis last year. And it really does the possibilities. You could say, well, will Big E go after Bobby for what he did to Kofi? Or me personally, would rather leave Kofi the fuck alone and just go eventually cash in on Roman. If the plan is to have The Rock at next year's WrestleMania, then I say cashing in there. Have Roman beat The Rock. But then have Big E, do the heist of the century kind of thing and beat him there at WrestleMania. That'd give Big E a huge moment. But still tease that. But him having the Money in the Bank briefcase, now it's going to give them ways to kind of book Big E and make him even more credible on SmackDown. So I'm very happy for him.
They might do him teasing that he's going to go after Bobby and just to get back for Kofi.
Yeah,
maybe he might do double duty on each roster until SummerSlam, until whenever.
Yeah, I don't know what his SummerSlam plans are, but I do know this though, because right now I don't see Goldberg beating Bobby, and I don't want Big E to jump over the Raw with the New Day. I want him to stay apart with the New Day right now. You can still be New Day, but stay apart from him right now. Don't be the whole trio right now. I think
I think it's going to be kind of like how Big E and Xavier was for Kofi when he went for the title. Like they're going to be there, but they're not going to be there.
Yeah, it's cool, but I still don't want. I like Big E on SmackDown by himself. I really enjoyed it. However the case may be, but because I'm really looking forward to the Almighty versus the Tribal Chief at Survivor Series. It's kind of like remember when Drew had the championship last year, back before we was tired of Drew, and it was just like Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. That's a damn good matchup, and it was one. So I'm just saying because Roman, he's not losing his belt this year. Bobby has more of a chance of losing his belt this year before Reigns did. But if it was me and we doing the Raw versus SmackDown shit at Survivor Series, well then yeah, Bobby and Roman is the match right there. Especially how they been booked. It's fresh, it's new, and they both are just fucking dominant in what they do. So now it's main event time. Edge taking on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And Edge comes down, he's dealing with the fans, he's eating all this stuff up. And I like how Roman making him wait. He out there, he's sitting down there, he's bowing his head in the corner, and Roman say come out, he's making him wait. I like that. And then Roman's music hits, it comes out. So they have this big 3D effect of Roman that's like this, and then he does the ooh-wah type thing. Peep this though. At SummerSlam, wouldn't it be cool if Roman had like a big statue like Michael Jackson history? Think about it. Like, now I know you love Mike just like I love Mike. Remember during the History World Tour, he had that big ass statue that was like this, and it was dropping. I was like, yo, that thing looks intimidating but dope. Now imagine if at SummerSlam he had this big ass statue on the stage just towering over, like this is my domain.
They're not gonna break out an actual statue. It's gonna be on the screen if they do it.
I mean, well, it's kind of like how this animation was on the screen, but you need something that the people.
No, but I'm saying it's going to be on the actual screen and not like edited in for the TV audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just had the idea. I was like, dope, because that would look really dope as like the history statue. So Roman at the beginning is dominating Edge. He just letting Edge know that he should have been doing this, beating him down, hits a shotgun dropkick to him, and Edge is really getting his ass with the beginning. But then the pace of the match changes. Edge puts the crossface on Roman Reigns, a regular crossface, and Roman gets out and puts the guillotine on Edge, choking him out. Edge like he's about to go under, but Edge fights him back, and he knocks Roman to the outside. Roman tries to go for a spear to Edge on the outside, misses and goes through the barricade. And then Edge like, no, we ain't done yet. So then Edge goes and spears Roman Reigns through the barricade. So then he comes back in the ring to pin Roman, but then Roman comes and hits a Superman punch on Edge, and Edge hits Charles Robinson as he falls outside the ring, and Charles hurts his knee. So now there's no ref. So now Roman's like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna take advantage. I'm gonna go get the chair, knock the bottom of the chair off, and we're gonna do the whole crossface thing. He tries to do the chair crossface, but Edge fights back with the headbutts, and then he hits the move. But there's no ref there, so he got the chair arm in Roman Reigns' mouth as he's pulling on this thing, and then there's no ref. So who come out? The Usos. The Usos are making their way out, but then the Mysterios come, beat up the Usos, fight them to the back, so the Usos cannot.
They kind of messed that up a little bit for me.
Why?
Because usually when they had the Usos run out, but like the Usos running out, you could see Rey Mysterio and Dominic in the tunnel, like running behind them pretty much. So when they did the pull out spot, what'd you say?
I straight missed that. I really did. My bad.
No, they was like right behind them because I thought it was like a crew guy or something. So like when they dove in the ring and Mysterios pulled them out, it kind of wasn't like was like it was just like okay,
Okay, I mean, but I'm not gonna take points away for that. I'll tell you what I will take points away for, because Seth Rollins comes out as Edge is still holding the crossface with the chair bar, and Seth Rollins comes and super kicks Edge on the side of the head. Now I thought it was gonna be like curb stomp, but no, he just super kicks him. So then Roman
walks away.
And walks away. So, but then I would say this: as Roman goes for the spear, Edge hits the spear on Roman. So, like the super kick didn't have that much effect on it. So that's scary for a minute. And then Roman kicks out. I was like, the crowd was really into it now.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm listening.
He hit the spear on Roman. Edge pinned with no referee. Roman kicks out. I was like, why are you kicking out with no referee there?
No, but remember the referee came down. It wasn't as epic as Charles Robinson doing the sprint.
No. Before the referee was in the ring, he kicked out. was like, why are you kicking out?
I gotta go back and watch that because the referee comes in there. He
You gotta go
counts
back and
two.
watch it. The crowd was like 1, 2, and then he kicked out, and then like a few seconds later, the referee slid in and counted, and he kicked out again, which is like this man kicks out even when the referee isn't there.
Well, that's the tribal chief. I gotta go back and check that out. So after he does that, Seth tries to come back. Edge is with a big boot, but then Roman hits Edge with a spear. Roman wins the matchup. Meanwhile, after that, Seth comes in and attacks Edge, beats him down, talks to Rollins, and said this was supposed to be my time to for that championship. But then Edge starts attacking Rollins, and they really fight into the crowd. So there it's going. So I was like, okay, Money in the Bank. I was like, but then Paul Heyman, Roman's asking for the microphone. I said, okay, so I see where this is about to go right there. Because you see me text saying something about to happen. So Roman gets the microphone, and he said, and now you can all acknowledge me. But then we hear the Cena comes out. The crowd is going hype. The kids are loving it. And I ain't gonna lie, I miss Cena. I like seeing Cena. I never had like deep problem with Cena, but since WWE books him, he been out there doing the Hollywood thing like The Rock. He comes back, he cuts his hair. Thank you, because I was not dealing with Cena doing the.
It's still long. His hair is like obnoxious now because like he cut it on the sides, but the top is still kind of long, but in the back is like a big bald spot. So
He getting old, man. He getting old.
But usually he have it low. You know how he used to have it real, almost bald.
Yeah.
But now you got a bald spot. So it's like, are you gonna LeBron it, or what you gonna do?
Well, let's see. The way his hair look, ain't gonna be for WrestleMania because it depends what that movie deal is. So whatever the movie want, hey, that's what Cena gonna do his thing in. So Cena comes in, and then Roman is standing. He does a whole little thing, and then he takes a step to look at the championship. Then does the "You Can't See Me," and it goes back and it keeps celebrating as Money in the Bank comes to an end. So it looks like Cena is going to play up in the story that he's going to try to go for championship number 17 at SummerSlam against Reigns. And this, like I said, I know people may be saying we've seen Reigns and Cena already, but no, we haven't. We have not seen this Roman Reigns the way he's been brought. That's Shield Roman Reigns. That Roman Reigns is dead and gone. We've seen that Roman Reigns that come back to a John Cena that's been gone for a while. So now this is a Roman that can hang with Cena on the mic. This is a Roman.
Now I was just gonna say I wish that Cena changes just a little bit.
In which
when I say change, I mean just not be the campy, cheesy Cena. Can he be like he could be John Cena, but not like the too cheesy John Cena?
Well,
if you know what I mean.
He didn't talk yet. Remember, so probably
I know. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean by too cheesy. The crowd's behind me, but it don't sound like they behind me. I don't need that Cena.
No. I don't think we're gonna get that Cena, but I think he's gonna be hyped that we got the crowd back. Definitely.
Yeah,
which by the way, which by the way did help for the night. So that was Money in the Bank 2021, and I have to say, man, look, like I said, I enjoyed the show. The reason why I enjoyed the show, the main event was great, and like I said, yes, in my Rollins that did more than a super kick, but it played to the fact that because if he did a curve style, then we wouldn't believe that he can get right back up and do a Spirit of Roman. So it's like, okay, so that didn't work. So he took an edge lightly. So I looked at it that way. And they're going to have that match at SummerSlam. Cena coming out was a huge surprise. It's something that the show, a shot in the arm, I think was good for the show. The men's Money in the Bank match, like I said, was good. The Peacock fucked that up. But it's like, I'm happy for Big E. And all the time they had in there, I'm just mad we didn't get no table spots, because they used the table spots up on SmackDown. So, but other than that, I'm glad like Ricochet's back in wrestling gear, and being organic. You wouldn't have had Johnny Gargano. You wouldn't have had John Morrison and Seth Rollins teamed up in the Thunderdome. But the organicness of the crowd and Chain Giant Trip, kind of made that thing happen. Just like Bobby Lashley playing to the crowd of crushing Kofi Kingston. I think everything from Bobby all the way down was great. But in the first two matches, like the Raw tag team match could have been on Raw, and the Nikki Ash stuff and that whole Money in the Bank ladder match was a terrible way to open up the show. It didn't do good, and just by me being on somebody who you know thinks that the world should be people should be held accountable for their actions. That whole Jimmy Uso thing and win the championships, I don't care what storyline, that rubbed me the wrong way. So that pre-show and the first two matches, yes, that right there, if that's Money in the Bank, that's an F for me. They ain't doing good, but they picked that up, especially with the squashing of Kofi and everything. Yes, there's some things I didn't like about it, but I give this a thumbs up show.
Okay.
It's easy to. It's kind of this is the argument I got in somebody the other day, because me and you both seen Space Jam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, while y'all see my face on this camera, go check out my review on Nerd Coalition. I gave Space Jam a B minus. But right now, it's the most popular thing to hate on Space Jam. And I'm like, but then if you, because people are, to me, in my personal opinion, are unfairly trashing it. Okay. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean, I don't know why 40-year-olds talk about, oh, this movie wasn't for me. Yes, it's not.
It's not. Well, I'm saying, but the reason why I know people probably think, why are you bringing that up? I'm bringing it up because I've been watching wrestling for so long. It's the cool thing to trash WWE. And I agree with you. WWE did some stupid shit. They did stupid shit tonight. But when they do something that's good, because I'm excited for SummerSlam. I want to do the live stream for SummerSlam. I can't wait to see, because right now, if the match card is what I think it's going to be, look, Cena and Roman, Goldberg and Lashley, Sasha and Bianca, the rematch, it needs to happen. Becky and Charlotte, maybe Rhea, but it's in there. I think Usos may go up against Alpha Academy, not sure. It may be AJ and Omos going up against RK Bro, because it's a fresh match and they want to see Orton and Riddle in front of the crowd, see how that works out. So there is a lot of possibilities of what SummerSlam is probably going to look like. They're trying to sell this building out. They're trying to give us a big show. So I'm excited. I actually want to see what SummerSlam is going to look like. So that's why I'm just like, from Bobby on down, I thought it was great. Seeing Big E with the Money in the Bank briefcase, that right there makes me happy. I'm a huge Big E guy, and I'm glad to see.
It's weird for me.
Say what?
Now I was gonna say it's weird for me because like, they did have good stuff on it, but it's like the first 3 matches were just so much of a not downer for me, but they just had me feeling so down that I just couldn't be picked up by the end of the show.
I can understand that sentiment, but it was like, I'm not going to let Nikki Ash ruin my squash match or ruin my Money in the Bank ladder match because it's Nikki Ash. And I think it's also that way because it's the first pay-per-view back with fans, and it's the opener. The opener sets the tone of the show all the time. If you don't have a good opener, because if you ask any wrestler or ask any performer, and you work with performers, if you can't be the main event, then what side you need to go on for? First,
gotta be the opening act.
You gotta be the opener. If you can't be the main event, you gotta be the opener because you are the one that got to get the crowd ready for the whole show. And if you start off on a downer, if you start off on that pre-show where you're rewarding somebody who gets DUIs, and then you got this superhero and nobody cares about, who could barely jump off a ladder, win the Money in the Bank briefcase in a match that could have been on Raw, which it still hurts everybody because people was like, wait a minute, Viking Raiders should be, they're a legit tag team. They should be winning the tag team champions. Omos he's better as the bodyguard. We get that. He's better than Great Khali, but I'm just saying he's not AJ Styles. And I think as AJ Styles fans are kind of like, why is AJ stuck in this? So those things can, happen. That's why, but if you're able to pick up, the show for me, my biggest issue was the Peacock thing. Because that is a situation that they are going to have to address, especially when SummerSlam.
Also, another reason that downed me too. That kind of was like, Cause like I was almost getting picked up with the Charlotte match, and that thing happened. I was like, I was really debating on turning it off after that. Like,
I mean, I
honestly,
agree with you because that Peacock thing happened right in the middle, right in the beginning of the two biggest matches on the card. You can't do that. And if it's gonna be like that for SummerSlam, when you know more people, if we just find out all these celebrities watching Money in the Bank, imagine who can be watching SummerSlam. You know LeBron gonna be in there because there is going to be no finals. There is going to be no Super Bowl. You're going to probably have baseball, but baseball is like they're going to play their games already. You are the cornership right now, so you're going to have to get this together. I missed the network, but because I have not had a good experience with WWE Peacock right now. I haven't. But so like I said, I give it a thumbs up. I can understand where your sentiment comes from, but you guys can post down in the comments down below. How did you guys feel about Money in the Bank tonight? Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed our video. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE content right here. I was supposed to put out some classic reviews of Money in the Bank, but I didn't get a chance to, so just gotta wait till next year. But I do want to put out some classic SummerSlam reviews like we did for WrestleMania earlier, and do some classic SummerSlam. There's a lot of SummerSlams that we can talk about and go over. I think that will be dope. So hopefully leading up into there, I want to do like a classic SummerSlam or do the countdown or something like that. So I think that would be very, very dope. So stay tuned for all that. And subscribe right here to the Nerd Coalition. Subscribe right there to Prime Nostalgia Podcast and everything like that. So once again, make sure you guys check out our No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast that hopefully should be probably be up tomorrow. Or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So once again, this is NCN Place to Be, Children Mr. A&D, and not Deion Sanders in prime time.
all right, y'all.
All right, and the Nerd
It's
Coalition.
been real.
The Nerd Coalition is out.